Hello and welcome to the Phase 3 public meetings for the Black Hills Context-Sensitive Corridors Study. My name is Lyle DeVries. I'm the Consultant Project Manager assisting the South Dakota Department of Transportation, the SDDOT, with this project. This presentation provides an overview of Phase 3 activities conducted since the Phase 1 and 2 public meetings held in August of 2018. It is accompanied by presentations specific to each of the 5 Phase 3 corridors, along with an interactive comment module and map for each corridor that allows for viewing of and commenting on proposed improvements. To maximize your experience of this meeting, we recommend that you complete the viewing of this presentation, then visit the clickable map of the Phase 3 corridors to select the corridor you wish to view in more detail. Within the corridor-specific information, you will have the opportunity to view focus areas and provide comments on the corridor concept. Comments are due on April 25th, when the meeting will end. Contact information for the project is provided here for your reference. Steve Graham is the SDDOT representative. I'm the Consultant Project Manager. Please do always feel free to reach out to us with any questions. Overseeing the project also is the study advisory team that includes Federal Highway Administration, Park Service, State Game Fish and Parks, the U.S. Forest Service, and the Spearfish Canyon Foundation. This is a context-sensitive study, meaning that context-sensitive solutions are being implemented. The principles of context-sensitive solutions, or CSS, have been improving the quality and sustainability of transportation projects for decades, and the unique nature of highways within the Black Hills lends itself well to their application. As this study has progressed, the project team has learned and documented what matters most about each of the study corridors, and we've used that knowledge to craft improvement visions that meet crucial needs while balancing impacts to the surroundings. Steps involved in CSS work include meetings with the general public and stakeholders to ensure there's a broad support, understanding of resources and input. Corridor visions are developed in concert with input from people, important partner agencies who have a lot of weight and involvement in the corridors. Eventually, the outcome is improvements that are targeted toward known challenges that really address those challenges while also balancing impacts to the surroundings and complementing, enhancing the surroundings. 17 corridors were selected for analysis in the study, grouped into 5 northern and 12 southern corridors. The corridors address a range of lengths and surroundings, but the majority of them are 2-lane rural highways through scenic land. These are some of the most unique and special roadways in the country, as you know. The study is being conducted in 3 phases, as shown here in the triangular graphic. Phases 1 and 2 established corridor conditions and envisioned the types of improvements to be implemented along each corridor. Phase 3 is developing additional design detail for improvements to select corridors. The SDDOT will be consulting this study as they develop plans long into the future to bring enhancements to these special highways. Focusing in a bit more on phases 1 and 2, these phases are documented in a report, phase 1 and 2 report, which is provided at the project website. These phases unfolded over the course of 2018 and 2019, when the project team worked together to identify the purpose associated with each of the 17 corridors. And we rated corridor performance based on current and future traffic flow, safety, geometric roadway design. The rating of corridor performance led to the identification of needs for improvements, and types of improvements were recommended to address those needs. As previously mentioned, this was a collaborative process, working closely with SDDOT, Forest Service, Game Fish and Parks, other stakeholders to evaluate, refine, and apply improvements to particular locations along each corridor. The improvements were assessed based on their ability to deliver safety benefits in a cost-effective manner, and a ranking was assigned to each corridor to determine whether it should be advanced to phase 3 for further design detail. 3 corridors were initially selected for phase 3 involvement based on the ability of the proposed improvements to enhance corridor function within its purpose, provide safety benefits, and address urgent infrastructure conditions. Upon selecting 3, 2 more were added based on SDDOT planning considerations for a total of 5 corridors. For each of these corridors, improvements identified in phases 1 and 2 are being further developed into initial design concepts for public review during this meeting. The design concepts will be refined following the public meetings and documented in a phase 3 report. Scoping documents for most of these corridors will be provided to the DOT to assist in programming projects for future implementation. The 5 corridors advancing to phase 3 include 4 of the north study corridors. These include Corridor 2, which is 6 miles of US 14A through South Spearfish Canyon. Corridor 3, 16 miles of US Highway 85. Corridor 4, 1 mile of US Highway 85 between Lead and Deadwood through Pluma. Corridor 5, about 3 miles of South Dakota Highway 473, leading up to Terry Peak Ski Area from US 14A, and Corridor 7, the only south corridor, US Highway 16A through Custer State Park. As previously noted, each of the 5 corridors can be viewed in terms of their purpose. On this spectrum, destination roadways are attractive to users in and of themselves, even if only for the experience of driving, crossing, or riding along it. Destination access highways are connections that help convey traffic to attractive destinations. Commuter commercial roadways serve the purpose of conveying daily workday travel for passenger vehicles and freight. Of the 5 phase 3 corridors, Corridor 2 is the most destination oriented, while Corridor 4 serves a majority of daily commute traffic between Lead and Deadwood. The other corridors are along the spectrum between these functions. For example, Corridor 7. Corridor 7 through Custer State Park serves a lot of purposes. Some people commute on it, some people use it to get to attractive tourist destinations, and others are there just for the drive. It's a hybrid of many functions, many challenges on Corridor 7. Possessing a firm grasp of each corridor's purpose, the project team considered an array of design inputs shown here on the left side of this graphic. Contextual features, public input, traffic operations and safety issues, physical design deficiencies such as narrow shoulders or tight curves, bicycle and pedestrian needs, also agency plans and input from those that are proximate to the corridor. All of those design inputs helped craft the vision for each corridor, which then was used to develop needs and improvements. The improvement objectives are listed on the right side here. To optimize function of the corridor within the context, apply design standards, bring some of these corridors more into conformance with standard design practices, deliver cost beneficial projects using limited dollars to bring the optimal safety benefits, and enhancing safety and user experience. All of those objectives were kept in mind with the improvements that were crafted, always looking through the lens of the purpose of that given corridor. So the improvement types that emerged during phase 3 and are being laid out on these corridors include an array of things: design improvements, multimodal operations, safety, and intelligent transportations are 4 major categories here. Just to give you a few examples, looking at Corridor 3, this particular location would introduce a curve realignment to help enhance travel speeds, reduce travel time for traffic moving along Corridor 3. Another example here with Corridor 4, the connection between Lead and Deadwood through Pluma. A number of ideas here are being considered for creating a pedestrian and bicycle connection along this alignment. And the typical sections are shown here, different ways of doing that. You can accommodate pedestrians via a separate path that is off the alignment somewhat, or paths that are closer, perhaps barrier separated from traffic, or also maybe wider shoulders. These options are offered up for your review in more detail in the meeting materials. Within each corridor-specific package, an evaluation of improvement performance is provided for your review and comment. The evaluation rates the ability of the proposed improvements to deliver consistency with the corridor vision and design guidelines while balancing impacts to the surroundings and costs. Ratings in green depict more effective improvements, while red circles denote deficiencies or greater impacts. To learn more, now that you've completed this presentation about each specific corridor, click the orange Get Started Now button located just below this video. This will take you to the overall corridor location map. By pressing and holding the left mouse button, you can move around that map to find the corridor you are most interested in. Clicking on that corridor with your mouse will take you to more detailed information, similar to what's shown on this slide, that will allow you to then click on particular dashed boxes and understand more of the proposed improvements and provide your thoughts on their effectiveness and impacts. We very much look forward to hearing from you and including your input in what comes next. Thank you for your time.